Welcome crafters, andyisyoda here, and welcome back to the Joe build. It is a car dealership you can see behind. It is awesome. I am loving it. I am really loving this car dealership, and I cannot believe it's turning out so well because dual builds are difficult when two people are building. Let's get placing some blocks and I'll show you what Zarius has been doing a little bit later on in the video. I want to get placing some blocks just as soon as we can. Now, let me make sure I've got all the ingredients I need. Now, I'm just going to place some blocks pretty much as soon as we get into the video. Yeah. So that grey brick I'm liking it an awful lot, and we're going to extend it along here so it's a nice change from the clay. But yeah, welcome everybody, episode 8 of the Joe build. It is a car dealership. The blue things are where the cars are going to be. I've been working on a light design, which I'll show you in just a few seconds time. We're going to be building up some of these offices and the offices there, and maybe working on this balcony here today. Off camera, I have built up this wall, and I've put this support in. And I've put this support in as well. I have completed the roof off camera as well. So that was pretty much the samey as last episode. So by putting the roof on, it saved you guys a bit of watching me do the roof again, which, you know, it's kind of boring to do that. I moved that wall in by one block as well to avoid a situation with connected textures right there. We've got a little car park there. This nice little, well, huge car by Orbit Plays. Thank you for him for that car, and this car I think is designed by Ultra Builds. I'm not sure if he had permissions, but never mind. So yeah, let's crack on with the car dealership. And we're going to tell another story as well during this episode. Yeah, let's get placing some more blocks.
And we're going to have a look at what Zarius has been doing a little bit later on. Okay, so I think this should actually be glass here. I want to move this wall in a little bit. Let's bring this up here like this. I was going to do lights. Excuse me, I was going to do lights. Chokies. Right, these are the lights I'm going to do. So, a little bit of world edit involved. Got this block here, which is a sea lantern, and I've got world edited iron trapdoors, then an anvil, and then nether brick fence and prismarine blocks. So I'm using the UTB texture pack. You can get onto my website, useblocks.engine.com, and on that website you can register for a guest, and that's called Padawan. And once you're a Padawan, you can do Warp Dealer and come on and have a look at this place. So if you think about this light placing and you think it's just magic, let me explain. I'm using Vauxhall Sniper stencils. So I've made a stencil out of these lights. And if you want to know how that works, a gap of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no! I've miscounted because that's a gap of 4. Oh well, I will just place it and deal with the problems later on. Yeah, if you watch my video on 5 advanced city building tips, you can learn how to use stencils if you've got Vauxhall Sniper on your server or server edition of Minecrafty. Right, let's build up the offices today. So that can go there. So the idea is we've got an office there, kind of a walkway in there. Let me just hit some glowstone around here so we can actually see what we're doing. In fact, I might take off shaders because we're indoors. There we go, shaders are off, and we can just pretty much get started here. I think I want to make this glass area at the front a little bigger. And I need kind of a walkway in to, let me see. So I'm going to count the blocks here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I want this to be black stained glass, I think. These are offices where you get taken into by the manager and so on when you're about to buy a big fancy new car. So we've got 7 blocks there. Let me see. Not really 7 blocks here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like that. Okay. Let me see. I don't think they're going to be 7, are they? Yeah, I'm going to make these just 6 blocks long. So let me move that there. Let's make all this stone. And let's just have a gap maybe of 3. And that leaves, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so we've got some walls in here. This office, and then this office. Can come to there, like that. This can come along, and this can all be glass as well, like that. That car's going to have the shifty. So that is the entrance to the office there. So what I'm going to do, get rid of this glowstone here, and do a little stack command to save myself some time. Here we go. I've got to start my story, haven't I? Let's stack 5 up.
Oops, misspellings. /stack. So my story is actually a story from my uncle, who is a beetle expert. I really hope he doesn't mind me telling this story, but my uncle was staying in like a bed and breakfast near London before he was continuing his journey back to Scotland, and he was staying in this amazing bed and breakfast, and they had this beautiful field, and the field near the bed and breakfast was owned by the owners, and it never had fertilizer or pesticides on it. or anything like that. It was just a wild meadow, basically. I have some doors here. Boom, boom, boom. So that's kind of the staff entrance there, like that. And we've got a room here. So I'm going to change the floor as well, all the way over to here. Let me just hack in a window as well, 'cause it's super dark. /set 5.2. Staying in this bed and breakfast, notice they had a field. And the field, for a beetle expert, you want to go and find if there's a nice field where there might be some nice specimens to take back to your laboratory for study. And there was a few cows hanging about in the field as well. And of course, you know what cows do. They poo all over the damn shop. And let me just take that down, I think. Boom, 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 like that. And yeah, so there's a big area of poo. I guess we can have a few windows here as well. These might not be permanent windows, but I'm just getting some light into the build. They might be windows. They might actually be windows. Probably good sensible places for them. Maybe not quite there. Maybe something like that. That's a pretty smart window. So yeah, there's a big cow poo on the ground. And my uncle thought, yes, there's bound to be some nice beetles, because beetles do. The beetles like the dung, don't they? They like the poo. That's what beetles do. I mean, who's to judge? If you were a beetle, that's what you would do. You would investigate poo. Did we do that? I like this. I like this so far. Boom, 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 boom. So my uncle was scraping about in the cow pat looking for some nice beetles to take back to his laboratory. And then there was like a woman walking across with her kid, maybe a guest or something. You know, kid wanted to find out what was going on. And of course, here's my uncle raking about in the poo. And the mum quickly ushered her daughter to one side. Come away from the strange man, she would have said, who's playing with poo. But that's not the end of the story, because my uncle decided there was so many beetles. In fact, I'm just going to stack this. So many beetles that he thought, wow, I need to take the entire cow pat home with me. Now, I realise that not a lot of people would do that. I think 40 is too much. Stack 33, that's about right. What a good guess. So he wrapped the entire cow pat up in a plastic bag, as you do. Okay, we're gonna go from here. Let's just put this round. Yeah, a big plastic bag, wrapped up the cow pat, and then carried on his travels with a big pile of cow poo in the plastic bag. And he had to get on this train. Now, he'd been lucky enough to be able to get first class travel. Let's just /stack one up like that. First class travel on this train. We're going to fill this in. /fill wood. No, fill 520. Gives us a nice floor. Excuse me. So there he is on first class train, travelling through England all the way up to Scotland. We're going to have maybe the balcony come up to maybe about here, something like that. So there's going to be a bit of a space in here. And what I thought I could do is I need to grab it from here. Where is it? Yeah, grab some of this and just create the same sort of pattern. You see, this is Aztec sign. AZ, A for andyisyoda, Z for ZariusHD, AZ Tech. That's the company that makes the cars. Now, if you haven't seen Zarius's channel, then please check out Zarius. The link to his channel is in the description. And he is doing all the odd episodes. I'm doing all the even ones. And it's proving to be really, really good fun so far. So link to his channel in the description. And there's a playlist down below. And you can go back and see all the episodes. One by him, one by me, and so on. What do you think of this? Is this working? Is this working? I think we could go a little bit further up, possibly here. Let's go further up with these doors. I'm just trying to get the proportions of this place kind of worked out in my head as we go. And I've got to get back to my story. You guys are, what happened on the train, Andy? What happened on the train? I think this needs to come down by one. That's too far. Too far, Andy. It's too far. Right, what happened to the train? Right, so my uncle's on the train. He's sitting in first class. Really nice, posh people around him. He's sitting reading his newspaper. He's got his own table, you know, and he can stretch newspaper out and everything. And the bag, the offending bag with the all sealed up, you know, carefully sealed up with the poo and all the beetles, all the amazing beetle species are all sealed up and put on the luggage rack. You know that overhead luggage rack you get on trains where you put your bag up top and then you get it back again at the end of the journey above the seats. And he was sitting there reading his newspaper, and all of a sudden he noticed a beetle had actually fallen onto... Well, no, he just noticed the beetle on the newspaper, but I've kind of given it away because the beetles were actually starting to fall out the plastic bag, and he didn't actually realise that the beetles were falling out the plastic bag. He thought maybe the window was open and a beetle had come in the window, maybe brushed off a bush or something, passing a siding. But in fact, what was happening was the beetles were actually making their way horribly. I mean, this is kind of disgusting, but they were making their way out of the plastic bag, and he realised in horror. Let me do /stack 4 up the way. There we go. He realised in absolute horror that he needed to reseal the bag. Now, of course, you couldn't do that in the main carriage, so he went onto one of the toilets. This window's going to have to change. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. Yeah, went onto the... how big should we make these windows? Probably the same as the ones below. So we'll come up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that. I think that's fine. And we'll stack this up as well. Stack 5 up the way. Is that enough? Not quite. I'll do it by hand. Yes, he went into one of the toilets. There was little cubicles on the train, and he says that's where he made one of the biggest mistakes of his life, because he actually opened the plastic bag to see what was happening inside. Now, that's probably something you would just naturally do. Have a look to investigate, retie the bag, reseal it. No, you don't want to be looking inside a bag full of 2-day-old cowpat in a confined space on a train toilet. And he said the smell was obviously inhuman and rotting cow poo. Can you imagine? And it was just the most horrendous smell to face. Going to use a bit of world edit to put the glass in here. / replace air 160, which is glass, 15, which is black glass. Like that. What do you think? I think that looks kind of decent. Yeah, the smell was absolutely inhuman. We're going to look at what Zarius is doing when I finish the story here. It made his eyes water. It's made his face go all red. So there he is, trapped in this toilet with a bag, and he's peering into it. There's a big pile of poo inside, and his eyes are watering. His face is all red. The whole stench fills the cubicle really, really quickly. And he's trying to retie the bag, and he just gets it retied and he hears a knock at the door. There's people waiting to get into the toilet, and the guy outside goes, "Look, you've been in there for ages. Can you not hurry up, please? People are desperate out here." And then there he is, made the most unbelievable smell in this confined space. His face is red, his eyes are watering, and he opens the door and comes out and holds up the bag, which is, you know, a clear plastic bag full of poo. He goes, "It's okay, I've finished." And then people were taking one step forward to come into the toilet, and they took a big step back. But yeah, so watch out for people like that on trains, is the kind of moral of the story. Zarius here is doing an amazing thing. This is like a spraying workshop, I think, where cars get sprayed. Okay, they get hooked up, maybe a positive charge, and the paint lands, you know, on the car, attracted to the positive charge. Out here, we've got some more space, maybe for some parking here, wash your own car kind of thing, and then one of these things that you travel through with your car to get it washed. A car wash, Andy. One of those things. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Right. Let's get back to work in here, peoples. Let's get back to work in here. I guess we're going to just pile up some of the walls here. Like this. What do we have here then? So we've got another office here. I guess. Another office right here. What was this going to be? I can't even remember. I have to go back and watch the video. I think that's like an entrance for staff. We've got another office just here. I guess we'll make this glass across the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's good. This could maybe be the assistant manager's office, something like that. I think that's a good idea. This could be another general office for buying cars in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Guys, thank you so much for all the comments you've been putting on the video. I really do appreciate it. Every comment I try to respond to as best I can. And if you guys have been super amazing at hitting that thumbs up button, so I really do appreciate every time you guys do that. It really does give me and Zarius a lot of motivation every time we see a thumbs up button, especially if it's like more than 10% of you. It's really appreciated. This is like a little counter for spare parts to buy, and we've got some toilets in there. I was going to have some more toilets in here, but I think I'm just going to give that over to car space. So we've got another wall here, so let's get stacking all this up, I suppose. / stack 5 up. That might not be enough. If I mistyped that again, look, the same one. All fingers and thumbs today. There we are. What do you think? So we've got another office here. You can go in and speak to someone about buying a car. Wouldn't that be amazing, buying a car? I've never bought a car at a dealer. I've always bought my cars in cash from private owners, because that's a lot cheaper. I think the most expensive car I ever bought was £3,000, and that's the car I've got right now. It's a Volkswagen Golf 2-litre GTI. I absolutely love it. We could do the ceiling in here, I think. We could do with some sort of ceiling in here. Oh, sorry if you can't see very much. Let me just get a quick ceiling done. Oh, I've got a ceiling there. Okay. So, / replace air with snow. No! And replace it with 80. So there we go. So we're starting to build up the rooms inside. And I guess we could probably get the balcony done. Now, I've had an idea. What if we extended this all the way around, and it could form part of like the barrier to stop you like falling? I don't know how that's going to work. Let me just play with this shape here and see what works. So I'm away for a week. I'm away tomorrow, which is Sunday, and Sunday the 22nd of November, and I'll be back on Friday. So I've got a couple of episodes for you lined up. Monday and Wednesday I've got showcases coming up from the server, and I think that's pretty cool. We need a kind of a floor. I need a flooring though. Which level's the floor going to be? Kind of at that level. Let's see what happens when we extend that along like that. So I've got a couple of showcases for you, but yeah, do check out ZariusHD's channel, because that's the one to watch when I'm away. I like this though. Let's just fill this in. / fill 520. We could always change the floor color. We can always change that with world edit. And I don't know what the floor plan up here is going to be like either. And we need some stairs up as well. So plenty of work to do actually. Plenty jobs to do. So what do we do here? Do we do something like this? Like that? Does that look any decent? Does that look any decent? Good English, Andy. Let me just select that block with the Repel brush and paint along like that. So yeah, Monday got a showcase, Wednesday got a showcase video. I don't think I'll have a tutorial Tuesday for the vehicles, because I'm just too busy. I'm away with work teaching survival. That's what I do. So we've got 2 showcases, and you'll be able to dig out an episode on Zarius's channel of the car dealership. So episode 9, look for it on Zarius's channel. Don't miss any progress on the build, and then we'll come back on Friday, and I will make an episode on Friday when I get back. Like that. There we go. I guess we could put a little ceiling in here of some sorts. I know. I'm gonna go from there to there. I think I selected the points wrong. Boom. Right, / set 4415 should be upper white slabs. That's cool. And we could work on some lighting as well. Some sea lanterns under here. Let's try it there. Every 2 blocks. Let's see how this spaces out. This is how I space out lighting. I just go for it and see if every 2 blocks works. Well, of course every 2 blocks doesn't work. Let's try every 3 blocks. Normally if every 2 doesn't work, every 3 blocks kind of does. Messed up the lighting. Never mind. Right, we've got lighting to do. Nice even lighting to do. But yeah, what do you think? Pretty good progress. I'm not sure about this. What do you think? Does it make a good barrier? And
we'll finish up. Have a look with shaders. It's looking kind of bonny in here. This is, it's lacking a bit of detail there. We're going to do something about that. But it's a dealership. It isn't like a fancy trad house where you've got too much detail. One last thing, just before you go. One last thing. I had this thought here. Let me see. So kind of at this level. This. What do you think? We're going to wrap this round. Like that. Boom, 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 boom. Whoops. What am I banging into? Can't place blocks and talk at the same time. So that's going to go all the way around the build. It's kind of a decoration. It's kind of swoop, the Aztec swoop. Spam that button. Good game. Well played. And this comes around here like this. It might not go that far in, actually. It might be kind of start it like there. One more, and I'll let you go. But yeah, thank you so much for watching again. I really do appreciate it. We're going to have a look at what those guys are doing down there, kind of derpers. We'll stand back and have a look. That can wrap around later on off camera. Awesome. If you would like to come on the server, you can get your own plot in the donation store. You can get a 256 by 256 custom terrain plot. You can donate a few dollars and you can get that with full world edit and you can be building on this server. On the other side as well, we'll stack or continue this pattern all the way around as well. But that is all we can fit into one episode. That'll do for now. Take care, be good. If you can't be good, be lucky. May the blocks be with you.